Hey everyone, welcome to this week's astrology and pick a crystal reading. And I just want to say a quick welcome to any new subscribers that have come through from my other channel. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I hope you enjoy these videos that I do every week. So before I talk about the astrology, just have a look at the crystals. So we have, it's kind of a heart-shaped Brazilian amethyst cluster, a clear quartz cluster, and a beautiful rose quartz heart. And the last one here is a black tourmaline piece. Okay, so see what you're drawn to there. There's 3 cards per pile. I have 2 oracle cards and 1 tarot card from the Mythic Tarot. Is it the Mythic Tarot? Yeah, it is the Mythic Tarot. Now, let's talk about the astrology just quickly. This week we've just come off this very, I would say, very intense full moon in Leo. So it was a super moon where the moon is closest to the earth at its point of fullness. So a lot of people might be feeling a little bit drained coming off of that, even though while it was, the full moon was happening, it may have just felt a bit more on the intense side of things, or some people it might have been quite creative or energetic, but for other people, you know, it may have been a bit too much drama, because Leo energy can be about drama, or it can be about people's egos getting a bit too carried away, that sort of thing, or people clashing because of you know, personality clashes or being hypersensitive to issues. Now at the moment, I personally feel often after a very intense full moon, I tend to feel a bit drained. So I don't know if you guys are feeling that as well. Let me know in the comments below. But now we've got the Virgo moon. So the Virgo moon, I don't usually mention the moon too much, but since I was talking about the full moon, it's Virgo moon today and tomorrow. So it might be a good idea to focus on your health, work and routine. You might find more comfort in that at the moment, and just focusing on the details, the practical details of life, things that you need to take care of, you know, in your daily life. So this is for, as I mentioned, the 10th to the 16th of February. You know, there's not a lot going on this week. The main thing that I see is we're building up to the Mercury retrograde. You know, we have Mercury in Pisces, which is kind of fogging up communications, and not just communications, but Mercury is also, you know, electronics, as you've probably heard before if you follow anything to do with astrology, emails, you know, phones, computers. There could be issues for some people with these items during the Mercury retrograde period. Now, we're not technically in the Mercury retrograde till early next week, but we're in the shadow period. It's building up quite strongly. So the shadow period, you would start to feel the energy of confusion around communication, some issues where things are not clear, maybe even when it comes to your own life, thinking about, you know, where you want to sort of move forward with certain things, especially with regards to relationships or friendships, things like that. You may have some feelings of wanting to take things slowly at this time. It's not the best time to make big decisions in relationships. It's not the best time to make or break a relationship. You may be reevaluating things and working kind of more on a, you know, Pisces is more, a bit more secretive energy, not secretive like Scorpio, but more on the down low, more kind of like subtle energy. So you may be working out things in your life in a subtle way that are not very overt, and you're not quite putting them fully out there yet for everyone to know about. And that's kind of a good thing at this time. But I'll talk more about the Mercury retrograde next week when it's actually technically starts, and tell you how long it goes for and all that. But this week we're just in the shadow period. We also have Venus and Venus in Aries and Chiron in Aries conjunct until Wednesday this week. So what does that mean? That Venus is about relationships and finances, and Chiron is something where we feel a sense of a very raw emotion that can feel like, why can't I heal this? You know, what is this issue in my life that keeps repeating itself? And, you know, Venus in Aries can be frustrated because Venus in Aries wants to get moving, wants to move ahead, wants to get things done in relationships and with finances, wants to take action, you know, but Chiron's like, hang on a second, you got some issues here to deal with in yourself, you know. And not everyone will have this, but if that 2 degrees of Aries contacts anything in your chart, if it squares, you know, Libra, so you've got a sun at 2 degrees of Libra, or, you know, you have Mars at 2 degrees of Libra, or 2 degrees of Aries, or 2 degrees of Capricorn or Cancer, any of the cardinal signs, this could be quite a raw moment for you this week up till Wednesday, because anyone that's getting activated with this Venus Chiron conjunction in Aries is going to be feeling an energy of, well, I need to sort something out within myself, or I need to understand what my wounds are. I don't feel quite right about this situation because, you know, it doesn't have the clarity around it. You want to move forward as much as you want to and have the feeling and the desire to. You may be blocked in moving forward because of, one, the Mercury retrograde coming up where things are getting reevaluated and sort of sorted out and revised. And the other one is, well, Venus conjunct Chiron is like something needs to heal first. And it can be even to do with self-love. You know, you may be having issues if you're one of those people being affected by this Venus Chiron conjunction. Again, as I said, if you've got early degree cardinal in your chart, anything from 0 to 3 degrees of cardinal specifically, even 4 degrees, you may have something coming up at this time to do with needing to heal something to do with relationships or how you are in relationships. You know, are you approaching your relationships with a loving manner, or are you approaching them with expectations and a selfish attitude, which, you know, sounds very blunt to say, but Venus in Aries, that's a very selfish kind of energy. You know, anywhere we have Aries, it's like we want what we want and we sort of just want to go get it, and we don't really think too much about other people's feelings sometimes. So there can be sensitivities coming up if you're one of those people that has that early degree of cardinal at the moment. Yeah, so the opposite, just before I go on, the opposite sign of Aries is Libra. So if you're one of those people that I said getting activated by this energy at this time, you may need to think about how your actions or what you're doing is having maybe a negative effect on others, or maybe pushing people away and you're not realizing it, or maybe being too blunt or too harsh or too aggressive. And, you know, sometimes when you approach people with that energy, it can put people off, or it can make people feel wounded, or it can make people, you know, trigger people in their wounds because you're coming from a wounded place yourself. So it's a lot of deep stuff with that. And again, this is not going to be for everybody, but specifically those people with those early cardinal placements, okay? What else can I tell you? Next week, the sun moves out of its detriment position in Aquarius, which I think overall is a good thing, though Sun in Pisces can have its own issues. But Sun in Pisces in a good way, you know, we can find that we go with the flow more. We relax our defenses a little bit because Sun in Aquarius is very much in the head, and it is detriment position. It's not a great position for the Sun to be in. You know, the Sun does well in Aries and Leo. Sun in Aquarius is opposite to Leo, and the Sun in Aquarius is very much over-analysing things or overthinking things and being much in this very lofty mindset. And it can be sort of a very idealistic mental space where you have your own very fixed ideas about things and you're not kind of open to the flow of life as it's presenting itself, and you may be missing opportunities because of that. So I actually think overall it's a good thing that the Sun's going into Pisces next week, and I'll talk more about it next week. And then we also have another shift with Mars moving out of Sagittarius into its exalted position in Capricorn next week. Now, bit of a double-edged sword in some way, only because we have Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn and Jupiter in Capricorn. That's a lot of heavy intensity in Capricorn. And Jupiter, you know, it's in fall in Capricorn. Saturn's in its home placement, but there's all this energy there that's very much triggering a lot of heavy change for a lot of people. And a lot of people are feeling very drained this year because of the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which was very active in January. It's still conjunct. It's only 3-4 degrees, you know, in separation, but it's still very conjunct. With Mars going Capricorn next week, we may feel more dogged. We may feel more like, yeah, I just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. And that's all we can do right now because there's not a lot of inspiration on the, you know, on the ground to deal with at the moment. It's very much dealing with the reality as it is. And you know, there's a lot of heavy energy, and sorry to sound like such a downer, but it's just the reality of what we're dealing with at this time. But I do think with the Sun going to Pisces next week, we might just get a little bit of that dreamy energy, a little bit of that imagination, that spark of inspiration coming back. If you're a creative person, the Sun moving out of Aquarius into Pisces may be quite good for you. It may bring an element of romance back into your life. It may bring a bit more of a flow and a sense of ease and sort of being a bit more at ease in yourself, because I find that the Sun in Aquarius has a bit of an anxious, electrical kind of zappy energy to it. So, you know, there's a lot going on there, guys. So that's the astrology stuff. I'll talk, as I said, more about the Mercury retrograde next week. Let's look at the cards. So if you chose the Amethyst, these are your cards. Moon in Cancer, belonging. Obsidian, root chakra, protection. Interesting. And the Lovers, which is Gemini. So really interesting energies here. We have Gemini, Cancer, and we have a need to protect your energy at this time and ground yourself here with the Obsidian. You may be wanting to work with this, you know, Obsidian, or, you know, even like dark crystals like this, black tourmaline or jet, which are very protective energies. If you can't work with the crystals, you may be wanting to be very aware this week of protecting your energy from lower vibrational people or situations that may be, you know, kind of a bit draining. That's what I'm getting. There's something here with home and a relationship and family and a sense of belonging. There's something on your mind with regards to a decision in a relationship or communication in a relationship, and it could be for some people with a family member, because we have Moon in Cancer here and belonging, or it may not be a family member as such, but like soul family, someone that is like a soulmate and you have a strong connection to. So relationships are on your mind. For some people there may be third-party situations, because there's, I mean, we have several people here and this man is trying to make a decision here, so that's kind of interesting. Something about home and getting things sorted in the home for some people, working with somebody close to you to, could be ideas about moving, thoughts about, if not moving, stabilizing your home more, beautifying your home even, protecting your home, because we have Obsidian here. You may feel very protective and wanting to be sequestered away at home this week because you feel a bit sensitive, and you may not want to go out more than usual. You may just want to go to work, go home, or just spend more time at home or spend more time with family. There could be a connection here with mothering, parenting, or your mother because of Cancerian energy, or female relatives. The next one is a clear quartz crystal cluster. Ooh, Libra harmony, bloodstone, detoxifying root, heart, and sacral chakra. Wow. Knight of Pentacles as well. Interesting. So relationships come up again, just like they did in the previous messages, but you have harmony here. So I want to say, if you have had a situation recently of disharmony with anybody in your life, in particular someone that you feel quite close to, and it could have a romantic, for some people it could have a romantic aspect to it, for others it might just be someone that's close to you. It looks like there's something here talking about you need to detoxify negative emotions. That's what I'm getting with this. Root, heart, and sacral chakra. So you may have struggled with negative emotions towards somebody, or negative thoughts and feelings towards somebody. The Knight of Pentacles advises you to go slow in this connection. Again, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be someone that you have more of a romantic connection with. But it's saying go slow here. The Knight of Pentacles is a very slow-moving card. Do not rush with this situation. Do not rush to fix this situation. Do not rush to move forward in this situation just yet, because there's a lot here that needs to get sort of healed, is what I'm picking up on. And just see what else I'm picking up on with this. What I'm getting is actually a very positive feeling, but I'm getting negative thoughts need to be detoxified. That's what I'm picking up on. So if you have an inner defensiveness towards somebody that you do care for, and you have like there's a spiritual, for some people it's a very spiritual relationship. We have the number 7 here. And it's saying enjoy life with music, love, and romance. It's like you may be pushing away a connection, or you may be just needing to go. If it's not that you're pushing something away from fear or negative thoughts, you may be pushing something away because at this time, because you may, two things, you may either instinctively know you need to go slow, or you're going through some kind of healing process of your own that requires you to look at your own negative thoughts and clear them out, so that you don't project them onto this situation, this person, this relationship. But if there's something here about finances and a relationship, I do feel that something will be improving because of, I heard, your free will. So that's interesting. Oops, the camera there. So this is for the beautiful rose quartz heart, which I love. 9 of Cups, fulfillment, a wish come true. Lapis lazuli. Problem resolved, third eye and throat chakra. Ooh, awakening Aquarius. Eclipse in Aquarius. Your deeper resolve rises. Okay, interesting. There's an interesting message here. So what I feel with this is you've been intuitively on this particular path, and it could be to do with romance here for some people. Or if it's not romance, because, you know, there's so many people watching, so it could be either romance or something where you feel that you need to fulfill a certain aspect of your life that is not currently feeling fulfilled for you. You've had an awakening about this recently, that you're like, right, I need to go in this direction, and I need to make a change here to feel better in my life, to feel better in regards to either a relationship or my life in general, because I'm not satisfied right now, and I'm not feeling fulfilled, and I'm not getting the best out of my life. I'm not actually enjoying my life that much, is what I'm picking up on here. But you've had an awakening about it. And so for some people, this is working on your own to heal things as well. There's a lot of healing energy this week. Excuse me. The lapis gemstone here talks about opening your throat chakra. In particular, I'm really drawn to that, and I feel it's funny, I cough too, because no coincidences. Oh, it happens like that so often in readings where, you know, I don't have a cough, and it was just weird. Like, I don't know why I felt that, but it just relates so much with this energy that I'm feeling, and I am feeling a weird constriction in my throat. So this might be for one person in particular, or a couple of people. Has somebody out there been feeling like they can't speak up about their emotions, or they feel blocked with expressing themselves with regards to a romantic situation, or in life? It might be a general issue that you have where you have trouble speaking your truth. You feel blocked from communicating, or you feel like you shouldn't have to say certain things, but sometimes people don't know what you're really feeling, and that actually causes more confusion. So there's definitely something here about working on the throat chakra and healing that, working on expressing yourself more, and just through practicing it will help to heal it. I feel practicing speaking up a little bit more. But I like this, your deeper resolve rises with the Aquarius card. You know, there's some kind of an awakening process going on for you, and it's going to lead you to much more fulfillment in your life, which I really like here. So you've been thinking about what you need to change in some way that's going to help you have a better life, because it's almost like you're tired of almost being in the shadows, is what I feel like. This figure is all, you know, in shadow, and that's really speaking to me. It's like being in the shadows, being behind the scenes, not really living in some way, is what I'm picking up on, in the way that you want to. And there's something here that's either to do with, for some people, creativity, self-expression, or being more open in a heart-centered way, and with your communication, which will actually bring about positive changes in your life. But there's something about being honest with yourself is what I'm getting there as well. So that was interesting. The last one is the black tourmaline, the Hermit. Interesting. Which is Virgo energy. Well, that's a beautiful card. Moonstone, moon cycles crown chakra. Oops, sorry, I just put the camera there. And moon in Taurus, self-esteem. Oh wow, personal growth. Okay, so these are quite lovely messages here. I feel very much an energy of drawing your... Sorry about the glare on the cards, guys. There's not a lot I can do about that right now. Let's see which way I can focus that. Sorry about that. What if I do this? It might help a bit. Yeah, so the Hermit card is about pulling your energy back to yourself, working on your spiritual path, your inner self, doing the inner work, and, you know, not always looking externally so much, but healing from within, so that you can experience, you know, a purified perception, is what I'm getting. Because sometimes if we have a lot of healing issues, or issues that we don't look at, that are just kind of bubbling underneath, you know, to do with ourselves, oftentimes they surface in other people, in situations that are just not positive and not enjoyable and are quite negative. So we might be repeating patterns there. So the Hermit asks us to go within and do a little bit of self-reflection, which is really important to do, to ask yourself, am I creating this situation from my own, you know, negative thoughts? Am I creating this situation from my own fear? Am I creating this situation because of a certain attitude that I have that's, you know, that's not helpful to me? Asking ourselves key questions, going within, even journaling, or taking time to just meditate and clear your mind from certain mental patterns that are blocking you in some way. There's some spiritual work going on here if you chose this. Moonstone is the crown chakra, but also says moon cycles. So you may be just going through a cycle at this time where you need to go within more. And it's a very soft energy with this, which I feel as like self-care, I want to say. That's what I'm picking up on. And like a self-soothing energy. And when you can do that for yourself, it's actually very powerful, because you don't then rely on other people to prop you up. You know, you work out your issues within yourself, and then you come back stronger because you've gone, oh, wow, I actually understand, because I spent that time in self-reflection. You know, I looked at what the pattern that I have, and I feel like I understand what I'm doing now that's creating this. So it's not a quick fix. It's sometimes we have to take that step back or that time away to heal, to look at the issues, to self-reflect and to process things, and just get some objectivity about the situation, rather than to be completely immersed in, you know, the external drama. Okay. And the moon in Taurus, self-esteem. So this might be relevant for someone that has Taurus placements. Maybe you've got a moon, sun, or rising in Taurus. There's something here where, you know, you're working on healing yourself, definitely. And there's something here about your self-esteem and looking after yourself. And let me just see what else I'm getting from this. Realizing what you have to offer in life through your own natural gifts and talents, and honoring that in yourself. For some reason I'm seeing like something opposite to the card on here, which is like, I'm seeing fighting. So I don't know, like, it's weird. I saw a vision of like people with swords, like old-fashioned sword fighting, bizarre, but that's what I saw. So it's just probably symbolic of you know, stepping back from the fight in some way, whether you're arguing with people or you're having problems in the family with family members or people close to you, friends, or even if it's people that you deal with in public life in terms of work life. You know, if you have customers, or if you have colleagues, work colleagues, or just people, neighbors, it could be anybody. Pulling back from that external fight and spending more time looking at yourself definitely is a repeated message here. And it will be worthwhile for you to do that, because the energy here is definitely of a beautiful healing energy, of understanding, of wisdom as well. So it's very, very soft energy there, but also very healing energies. So those are the messages for this week, guys. I hope that was helpful to you. And if you would like to book a personal reading, feel free to go to the link below to my online store, where you can book from a variety of different readings. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic week, everyone. Bye.